What's going on, you guys? This is the Info Fox Got Gears channel, and today we're going to be taking a review and a little history about the actual helmet that we're looking at. And before we start this video, we have to give a shout out to the Ultimate Rental the Ultimate Rental channel. And so far, I've been quarantining the house. I've been watching a couple of YouTubes, and so pretty much I want to give a shout out to this one guy because pretty much I like watching paintball videos. So for being said, I'm gonna give a shout out to the Ultimate Rental channel, and then second channel also been watching during my quarantine, other than Weapon and Stuff channel, is the I'm a bit fan based gas mask channel. It's hard to pronounce this channel, but I'm giving another shout out. So for that being said, let's get on to the video. Oh yeah, before we do start, like I give those shout outs, I'll link the description down below. These two channels makes another reviews about paintball guns, and the other one makes a review about gas masks, testing filters out and everything. For my channel, we are reviewing the fast helmets. Now you may see these on movies, airsoft, and even realism, but not many put know the history of the fast helmet. The reason why I know, because I try to look it up on YouTube, the history of a fast helmet, and they don't give me. They just crap tons of airsoft videos that kind of get mad about, like, seriously, I want to learn about the airsoft. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at the airsoft helmets and then the actual real helmet. We don't have the actual helmet because it's like $300, and that's a big investment for making a video like this type hobby. We are growing this YouTube channel big, but for now we start baby steps. So with that being said, we're going to be taking a look at the helmet. So the helmet here are the price difference. So these two helmets, you guys may be thinking, what's the difference between these two? And I'm going to be gladly to tell you, one of them is good and one of them has it's okay, but it has a cons in it. There's not much pro into it. So there are the pros and the cons. So let's get to them. So the big con about this helmet right here is that it's sort of comfortable. It's a little cramped in, like it needs a little cushion. But again, not all helmets are supposed to be that very comfortable. But you know, with that. So the helmet here costs $35. Well, in math total, it's $40 because with tax and shipping. I mean, there's one thing I can't believe is that they charge shipping, even though the company that owns this looks like they're a legit company. But anyways, so this is the Airsoft, the Tar Soft. I can't even pronounce that. Nice patch. It's a decent, not a very decent helmet, but it's a good helmet for starter packs. I don't play too much. I actually never played Airsoft too much, so that's why I'm into paintball. That's even how I play a lot of woods ball. But this one is pretty much the cheapest helmet you can find on the market. If you can find anywhere cheaper, that's fine. But then this is the official, where you can just Google it up, fast helmet, and it should just show you right there in front of you. It says Amazon, so I just clicked it and boom. And out of the listing, this is gonna be the cheapest helmet you can come across to. Now I'm gonna show you a little detail. There's one detail that's very unnecessary, but I just don't know why I bought this version instead of a regular. It comes with a glass, it's like a plastic lens to protect your eye view. But in my opinion, why is this here? Because you know, I don't really care for it. I just want I actually have goggles to be alternative for this point. This right here, when I put the helmet on, as soon as it came in the shipping, it doesn't even fit on me. It feels like this helmet's meant for a kid. But no, it's not for a kid. It's surprisingly for us grown-ups too. Like anyone could use this. But it probably is. It's a good helmet, but I would not recommend for if you want to go something nicer or nothing. Now here I have this one's is probably worn and used and it has damage in it. But in my opinion, this one thing will cost me $50. And this helmet right here never let me down. I used in paintball. Oh my god! There's a crazy thing. I can't feel at paintball shots. So when I get hit in the paintball with this helmet right here on the right, this pretty much is decent. It's comfortable. It's spacey, and pretty much it's the most helmet that I would want to use the entire time. The problem is, before I bought this, the company kind of discontinued making these helmets. I just don't remember it because I bought it when I was a teenager, when I was a preteen. Now since I'm older, I keep forgetting what I got this from. But this helmet is one of the reliable helmet. Just the problem is they don't make the screwing better. So I was playing so much, this helmet has worn out and I lost the screws as I was playing in the middle of a paintball match. And now I can't find any screws that fit on this one. They do sell them online, but they're not the right screw thread for this thing. So with that being said, this helmet has retired on me, even though it has performed well. Now this other helmet, sadly enough, I am in the budget problem, so I ended up buying this one. And with that being said, the helmet right here is pretty much $35. Now, a little history about the helmets. So not many people know about the history of the fast helmets. Some people do, some people don't. Try look it up on YouTube, and it just gives me tons of airsoft helmet videos. So I kind of like, come on, dude, just show me a video about these helmets. But I mean, you can find real helmets online. Just type in the keyword "real fast helmets," and they'll just give you a price range between $200 to $300 to $500 for a fast helmet, for a real one. The difference between a real one and these are airsoft. They're meant for cosplaying or just airsoft for hell paintball. The real ones, I can try to afford it, but that's my whole entire paycheck for that 1 week. So I wouldn't go for the $500 helmet or the $300 one, just for the fact I just want to have fun with this one. Now the history about this helmet is this is a fast helmet. Not everybody knows, or some people know the name of the helmet. The fast helmet was developed back in 2005 by the U.S. Army by the name OpCore. OpCore was the company that developed a helmet protection for the U.S. Army back in 2005. The prototype released it, I think, around October. I'm not too sure about the dates, but they said something about October. I could be wrong about that. Around October 26th, they released a prototype that was tested for only ballistic reasons. So they used it on, they test whatever they can do with it. They shoot it. They everything. They did the torture test, and it passed the test out of all the helmets. Now, the fast helmets were supposed to be a lightweight helmet way that can easily give into a trooper, and they reduce a lot of metal and ballist and Kelvar and everything on the helmet. Now, as in 2005 come passed through, there is some attachments that were invented around the 2000s after 2005 was. Now, around 2010, I believe that NVGs were also popular, because I think the first NVG was more like a harness on your head, but now, since the 2000 came, the technology came with a bunch of set of NVGs. So here is a example. This is not an official NVG night vision, because if it was real, then I would sell something very expensive for this thing. But this is the replica, so it's not the real thing. So this is the NVG PG 12, I think, night vision goggles. And this one is pretty much a replica, but what the attachment were is you can get a bayonet and attach it on the helmet, and then you have yourself a portable night vision goggles instead of have a harness. Now, night visions were developed way back in the day, probably World War II, but with NVGs, they've been probably more popular now because they can be attachable to helmets. All you have to have is a little clip bayonet. Clip it in there, and you can slide on a fake or real NVG. And now, for real NVGs, they're kind of very expensive. The cheapest you can get to is $4,000 one. And the $4,000 one only provides you the one eye system, where your left eye or where your right eye has night vision mode, and the other eye has non-night vision modes. So that's the thing, that's the cheapest. If you want a decent one, a lot of people say you have to have a military ID, military or law enforcement requirements to get it. Now, there are some reports, there are some websites that don't ask for that. They just ask for like $4,000 for equipment. The cheapest you can get and the decent one you can get is between, I say, about $8,000 for a NVG set that has two lenses, and that's it. and that's about $8,000 for the NVG that can fit on your helmet. Now, the history between the helmet is that it not only can have NVGs, but it can also attach headsets. Now, before then, headsets were normally just have a headset harness where it's just a little U that goes on top of your head. But now with the Patcom M3 was invented around 2013, I think. They invented where a clip bayonet where you can clip the headset onto the helmet instead of just manually putting headset first, helmet on, and then night vision harness. They kind of just skipped all of that and put these attachments on there. Now, what the difference between the U.S. Army standard helmet from the 90s is that it had that little shoulder guard, the little ear guard that protects when any bullets hit you and boom, it goes to your ear. And the military kind of just sawed that off and just said, why not make the bayonet here so you can attach a headset in there? And they granted that. So once that, there was two inventions for the helmet. The NVGs for the night vision view that attached to the helmet, and the headset. Another thing that they also added on there, which I don't know if I can confirm I can find a realistic military head cover for the fast helmet, but there is a bag straps that goes on this Velcro, and it straps it on. And what it is for is it's like some extra equipment tool or a battery holder for your NVG. That's why Airsoft has created something like that, but fake. It just lights up and that's it. But I know I'm talking realism right here. So with that being said, I think I'd say about 15 years this helmet's been serviced in the military. I'm not sure about the math of the years, but I know it's serviced the military for so long that it's been a popular item for the military, for all branches around the world. For the fast helmets, are really, for factories, they're not very hard to make. Than it's pretty much the same amount level as making the old-fashioned helmets. What the difference between the helmets today to back then? Back in the helmets were made out of steel, or some reported made out of copper, until the early age of World War II to Vietnam and other war around the 90s that were almost the same material. I think it was the M1 helmet that was used a lot during World War II and was easily reused in Vietnam. But now with the years been changed, the fast helmet has changed history a lot. To the heavyweight helmet, to the lightweight, or the more customizable helmet. And it is the future helmet, what they say back in 2008 when I saw this on a magazine, that it's a futuristic helmet that used by the field. And by looking at that magazine today, I can tell these helmets already been released long time ago, and they have many types of helmet companies that make them. But more importantly, that they were more useful protection for the military for around the world, across around the world. Some countries have their own type of fast helmet prototypes. Some may not look like the actual U.S. military kind. They kind of have different versions. But the more important part, I think, if I'm correct, the United States military back in 2005 were the first one to create this type of helmet, I believe. And it was developed in 2005 by OpCore. And the prototype released it like around a month after it came. So after that, they tested, they shot it, like I said again, and it was used by a dozen branches after the reputation of the helmet. It was first started in the Army, now Marines, Navy, and all the branches that would use this helmet. Some branches can't really just don't want to they don't want to spend a lot of money on their troopers, so they just give them a standard war helmet that would. My opinion, these helmets would be bought best than the other helmets we don't use back in the old age war. But my favorite thing is the M1 helmet that used Vietnam because it has that good vibe. But that's just me. Now the fast helmet is customized, like I said too many times, NVG and headsets, and pretty much it is a very lightweight now. So now we're talking about airsoft. As the helmet was invented and popular, the airsoft community wanted to build something like that, so they developed this also. And right here in front of me is in two helmets. Like the price I told you, the right's $50 and the left is $35. With shipping and tax, it's like around 45-ish. I mean, cheese Louise, shipping is pain in the ass. Because, you know, if anything gets made in China, then it's China. So, with that being said, both helmets were all based in the same fast helmet that was made in 2005. It was released around the Iraq War, I think, or it was Afghanistan. I can't really tell which, but I know they both were used during that era. It's just like, I think the very first military branch to use it was the Army, because according to the knowledge of the military, that they said that the fast helmets were probably the first one used by the Army. I thought the rumor says it was used by the Marines, but the Marines were like, back in the day, they were kind of a tight budget too, so the Army was the only one that were investing a lot of equipment. They went to the old-fashioned straps to the tactical vest that could carry at least 3 or 6 mags, or how many mags they can carry. I mean, now these days, if you look the year of the old-fashioned helmets, they look very fashionable. But if you want something very like compact and very good and just very lightweight, I would look towards the fast helmets. Now, as far as that, I will make a video about the MVG, the replica model, how it works, and might give you a history information about the real one. As far as that, I'm looking towards getting a headset model on the helmet. But honestly, I never played airsoft that much. Now, the only game I've been playing most actively is paintball, and paintball is not different. There's speedball and woodsball, but we're not gonna get into that. As far as that, the comfortability of wearing a fast helmet during the Army deployment, the reports were a lot more different than the old helmets. Like what troopers, a lot of soldiers say that the fast helmet has an easy and durability and lightweight helmet than the old-fashioned M1 helmets. However, when it was first released, the ballistic plating for the helmet was not very heavily padded than the M1 helmet. So there were some cons about the helmet where it's not heavily padded, but later on 2000s they kind of improved that. So now basically the M1 helmets is still used today, but like not very actively too much used. I guess the fast helmets are used. To me, I feel like the fast helmets, I see them a lot times. I see them a lot of special forces wear these, but I don't know if there is a regular standard trooper that would wear one of these. Now, I don't know too much the information about the fast helmet, because the information, the history about the helmet weren't too much. There weren't too much details about the helmet. All it said is the futuristic helmet. It was made by Ops Corps 2005, developed by the Army, the U.S. Army, and was now released. And now many branches today are using them for combat, and it's a lot more weight. So I'm gonna give a little closer look at it. So as you would see, the padding of the helmet is pretty. It's not pretty comfortable thing in the world to wear, but you know, if you're playing airsoft or paintball, then this stuff will do the job. This one, in my opinion, is airable. I can tell the difference between this one and this one. So when it's hot outside, I'm sweating as hell, and then I don't feel any air coming through my head. It's just like wearing a beanie through the heat. This one is a lot game changer. With these holes in here, they kind of threw in air coming in and out. So I won't feel very hot. The only problem is whoever company made this, the straps were very poorly made. But the helmet itself, I dropped it in worse places, and it still has not breaking yet until now, because the screws were getting very loose. I tried to screw them in, but you know, with the type of screw that I use for this one, it's not very reliable. Now the Velcro between these two are very like different. They almost feel the same, except for this one's used and old, so I think the Velcro should be worn. Some of these Some of these helmets that I've looked online could be really different from each other, but they have their pros and cons. Now, let me guys know in the comments below what is the best airsoft fast helmet to use, so that way I can look into getting a better helmet than this one. This one was kind of a mistake, like I showed you guys too many times. It came with the plastic lenses to protect your eyes, but really this is very unnecessary because I can always easily provide myself goggles to protect the airsoft. Far as that, the weight of it, this one weighs a little bit more than this one, surprisingly. The screws look very awfully different than each other. The bayonet, the little clip that hooks on the bayonet, pretty much they both look the same. Alright, so there you guys have it, the fast helmet review. And smash and like and subscribe to this channel if you like more of these videos. And let me guys know in the comments below if you have any more other information, details I missed about the helmet. And thank you guys for watching and enjoy this video that I created.